Okay, we're ready.
We're ready.
Alright. So this is going to be really interesting because I literally forgot all the fruit for this smoothie, but it's fine. It's going to be so good. It's going to be
putting
so
blueberries
good.
in it, that's okay.
Yeah, you don't like blueberries?
I have some I haven't eaten.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. We're just going to go with it. I've never left like 2 whole ingredients for something in all of my 4 years of doing this, so this is
First
great.
time for everything.
So glad it's here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about protein. Obviously, as you can tell, all of the protein handouts. What are some sources of protein that you guys eat on a regular?
Chicken.
Chicken, eggs,
Beans.
beans? What kind of
Walnuts.
beans?
Darker.
Yeah?
The darker beans.
Yeah. Do you do canned or the bagged and soak
Oh,
them? And,
I have to stick with canned for now.
yeah, no, I do canned. It's so much easier. Yeah.
Walnuts.
Walnuts, yeah. Have you guys ever tried Aldi? Well, I'm a huge Aldi shopper. Where do you guys shop? Wegmans, Save a Lot. But yeah. So Aldi's, they're really stepping up their game. They are. But they have these cocoa powder almonds. 1/4 is a serving, 1/4 cup, which is very small, but it's so good. So good. So if you have a chance, go to Aldi's to get the cocoa covered almonds. They're delicious.
Tops had them in bulk 4 years ago, and I haven't had them since.
I know, they're like one of those things that only comes in, yeah, I know. So the first handout that I gave you guys is varying your proteins. So these are actually really fun little, they're called 10 tip sheets through the MyPlate, MyWins. They have a lot of different 10 tip sheets. I was looking through them. 10 tips to going to the coffee shop in the morning and like choosing healthier things. Yeah, so this is a fun, different resource. It's just on choosemyplate.gov. But some of this stuff is kind of like no-brainers. But then there's other things that, chilies are huge right now. And they even put like a little, does anyone like hummus?
Mm-hmm.
Last week all I made was hummus for all of my classes. And you'd be surprised how many people have never had hummus. Have you ever had hummus? No? Okay, I'm just going to say this one more time. Aldi's has this chocolate brownie dessert hummus.
Oh my gosh.
So does Wegmans. Yeah.
Okay, so does Wegmans. See, I live in Northeast, so I'm like far though. Like I can always go to Lakewood, but when I'm done with work, I want to go home. But yeah, it's really, really good. It's so good. And then the other handout. So do you guys know how much actual protein you should be consuming in a day, or is that something that you don't really like pay attention to? Like when you look at a food label, do you ever look at the protein, or what do you mainly look at?
Fat and calories.
Fat and calories.
I look at proteins, but not with a huge goal in mind. I
Yeah.
know that if the protein count's really low and there's a different option, I'll take a higher protein count.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good
Keep
way.
you fuller longer.
Yeah. Whole grains do that as well. Half your grains should be whole. Did you know that? That's what I tell everyone. So there's like a bunch of random little facts on here. How to keep your proteins lean. Obviously that's a big thing. Do you guys like turkey burger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turkey burger. Would you prefer hamburger over turkey burger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. I'm opposite. I like turkey over hamburger. I don't know. It's just, but sometimes people will say like when you're cooking it, it doesn't have the right color, and then it freaks you out, and then you're like, no way, Jose. But it's leaner. Is that how you are? Are you? Yeah.
I don't mind it.
No. Yeah. I made it was a turkey hamburger. Well, not turkey. It was just hamburger skillet, and you literally throw all this just like deliciousness. I think I made it like years ago, maybe for TRC, like my first time I ever came here. Yeah. So I made it with my after school program, and none of the kids had ever had turkey burger. Or I feel like their parents just tell them it's hamburger, one of those things. You know what I mean? They're like, I've never had turkey burger. So they were like looking at it, and they were like, it's great. And then I like really started looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of really gross. And then I was like, no, it's not, it'll be fine. But it was a completely different, because I used hamburger for the other class. Yeah, mind blown. So, for this delicious smoothie that I forgot the bananas and blueberries, it's fine. Who have you ever cooked with or used, what have you used tofu in? Everything? I love that. It's a different source of protein, and I'm all about varying the proteins. So there's all different types of proteins, or not proteins, tofu. There's firm, there's extra firm, there's, I don't even know, tempeh. So this is silken tofu. So this one is really good for smoothies. And now, did you know smoothies are now considered bowls? They like call them bowls or something. I don't really know. I don't know. So I saw it on Pinterest. So this is, you can also use this, they said, in like desserts too. I've seen silken tofu. I don't know. So have you ever, who's had tofu?
It's kind of like a dessert.
Smoothie's like a dessert.
Right.
Have you ever had tofu? Oh my gosh, I'm so mad I left the blueberries and banana, because you're going to be like, that was disgusting. Okay, so this recipe for 1 cup, so I didn't grab soy milk, I just grabbed vanilla almond milk, and I did the just original, so that there's less sugar in it than the vanilla, because if you get the vanilla, it adds more sugar. 60 calories per serving, so if that's something you look at. I made sure that our orange juice was not from concentrate, which is, and I also got no pulp, because I don't like pulp. So there's that. You do?
I love it.
I should like it because
I want to
it's
chew my orange juice.
more fiber, but I just can't get over it. Like when I make smoothies in the morning, I literally just sit there for like 5 minutes, so it's so smooth. I can't do chunkies. No. So this, the tofu has, it's 40 calories. There's a lot of, yeah. Oh. So what do you guys mainly look at? You said, did someone say carbs? Was that something? So there's 2 grams of carbs. That's pretty good, right? That's something you...
That's really good.
Yeah.
Not much in life without carbs.
I cannot believe, I was so, you know why I forgot all that stuff? Because I was so worried, because this is on camera. I was stealing ice cubes from a refrigerator that wasn't my refrigerator, and I hurried up so that I could fill it really quick before someone came in, and then I forgot the blueberries and the banana. Edit that out.
Absolutely.
That's how they're going to start out the video.
Hopefully no one from JCC watches this. I filled it back up.
Secret safe with us.
It's fine. It's gonna be so great. I'm so sorry, guys. But this actually is a really good smoothie if I had things in it.
Do we have the recipe?
Yeah, you have the
Do you want me
recipe.
to go see if we can find a banana?
Yeah, let's do that.
I haven't touched the blackberries. I just, they were like totally.
I feel bad.
I mean,
Those are your blackberries.
I just dumped them out, some of them. Never
I
mind.
don't think there's banana here.
So, I'm just going with it. I feel like I'm such like a newbie at this. I'm really not, I promise. Okay, so it looks not appetizing at all. Like, at all. Oh, gosh.
It's not supposed to look delicious yet, right?
But it is really good.
Ben should be here. He does a smoothie every day.
Right? It says chocolate bar, fiber bar in there.
Oh yeah. My boss does a smoothie every day.
Yeah?
Yeah, he puts fiber bars in it.
Are you fiber bars?
Big chunky
Yes.
chocolate one.
Chunky? What?
They're the brownie
Oh,
fiber
yeah.
one bars. He throws that in to get extra fiber. Protein powder. And he's
Look at the look on your
recently
face.
How about put some like flaxseed in that bad boy or something?
he recently
oatmeal.
instead of water he puts cold coffee in it. He's good.
What? There was this gentleman at one of my other sites, and he had this mug, and it was like, I don't even know what was in it. It was like this black, just like thing, and I was like, what's in that? That looks interesting. And he was like, yeah, there's like a candy bar in there. And I was like, and he was like saying it was kind of like that, but it wasn't a Fiber One bar. But in reality, sometimes those Fiber One bars are just like beautiful looking candy bars, let's be honest. Sometimes, right? I don't know. But yeah,
It's
it
the
was,
Fiber One brownie
okay.
he throws in there.
There you go.
Usually
That's
maybe
interesting.
some peanut butter powder.
Yeah.
I had this
Peanut butter powder.
Yeah.
I put that on my
cocoa
dog's food.
You get the
powder that
powders
goes
at
in there, a
Wegmans, they
handful of
have
walnuts,
powders for
and then a
smoothies.
banana and some
No.
strawberries.
Whenever,
It's
no,
ugly,
but I'm
it's-
like,
it's
so
this
whenever I do
purple
a
and
banana,
brown, but
it's alright guys, it's gonna be great. This is gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Jade
gonna be
leaf green
amazing.
tea powder. You want that?
No.
Oh, look at her face. Not much taste.
I promise it's not gonna be that bad.
It's gonna be the best.
Mind over matter.
Guys, please don't discourage, like next time I come I'll bring everything and then it'll be great. I promise.
It might work for Matthew because he's lost 80 pounds.
It looks like a vanilla milkshake.
It looks like, do you remember Orange Julius?
Julius.
Yeah, that's what I make. That's what we're making
It
at
was all
Healthy
part of the plan from the
Friends.
get-go. Did you find out Orange Julius?
I also ran out of like actual gloves, so these are great. I haven't been able to really order much yet because like we're still pretty new with this new grant cycle. It works. It's fine. But you know what? You're not going to be able to taste the tofu. Tofu.
Oh wow, generous portion.
Good.
Mm-mm.
There you go.
You gonna run out?
No.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna drink up then.
Drink up.
Just pass them down. John.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what my
Is
favorite?
it that bad?
It's okay. It's not
I haven't tried it yet. We're
It's not lip
We're passing them
smacking,
on down.
Think of how delicious.
We're passing them down. We're passing. There we go.
Oh my god. Thanks you guys for being so nice about this.
Mm-hmm. I want one of
I really appreciate it. Molly. I'm sorry. My name's Molly. I work for Cornell Cooperative Extension with the program, one of their nutrition programs called SNAP-Ed. Is it gross? Oh no, that's gross.
I love it.
Are you lying?
No, I love it.
So I make
Here, I'll
grapefruit smoothies,
Yeah?
and they're pretty awesome.
You don't want to do it? Okay, let's try it. Alright, let me try it.
What kind of orange juice you take? You didn't take Betty?
Okay, I mean, if we had fruit in it, it would be delicious. But you're getting protein.
Maybe the honey
Just
French
put that
is
silken
something.
smoothie in it. It's not bad.
it smells good.
Guys, thank you so much.
It's not fresh cracked pepper.
I made this Spanish rice at the Salvation Army food pantry, and I used everything that was in the food pantry. It was like amazing. So I was making this fresh salsa too. It was like amazing. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm making rice on the stove.
Oh no.
Oh no! And I burnt the rice to like
Oh.
nothing. And there was so much smoke, and this woman came in and thought she was having a stroke because she smelled like the... She had like a mini anxiety attack, and I was like, it's just burnt rice! This new cycle
We've all
of this
been there.
grant has just been a lot for me, I guess. I know, that was really bad, but thanks for trying it if you tried
It was
it.
amazing.
I liked
It was.
it.
I mean-
It was
I would drink
refreshing.
more if I could.
It's refreshing.
Think of the
just sipped a
blueberries
little.
and the smooth or the banana in it. It is really good. I promise. Oh no.
I do have a question. I heard that tofu has soy in it, and
I knew that was gonna be bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously tofu is a soy-based it's soybeans. And there's been a lot of, research and whatnot being done with, especially for women, and the estrogen and all that stuff, and too much soy is never good. And since I'm not a doctor, what I can say is too much of one thing is never good. So that's why you should always vary your proteins rather than, but for someone that's like vegetarian or vegan, that's their sole, but not really because they're using like black beans and all that stuff and nuts. So if someone is vegetarian or vegan, like more power to them because they have a lot of stuff they have to like actually figure out to make sure they're getting the amounts that they need and the healthy amounts and the safe amounts. But I brought that up to my doctor and she like laughed at me, which was kind of weird. About like the soy, I don't know. She was like, you're young and you don't need to worry about that. And I was like, oh, not really. So, yeah.
So then, if you're over 50, you should worry?
I don't know. See, I don't know. I'm going to say too much of one thing is never good. So vary those proteins. I'm really sorry that it was so gross. Thanks so much for
What are
coming.
you talking? Do you have any more?
Yeah, there's
There's plenty around this
Thank you.
just imagine the blueberries and bananas. I promise it's really good. How much protein is actually in this? 3 grams. Eh. Well, did you have any other questions?
Does it turn blue with the blueberries?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so pretty. I made it at the Prendergast Library on Monday, and this girl, like, she was pregnant, and she was like, if it smells bad, it's gonna be bad.
Oh.
And I was like,
I
oh.
think she didn't come to this one.
Thank God.
Just kidding.
Thank
I'm
God.
just kidding. I'm kidding. It wasn't
Sit here
bad.
and
It really
sip
wasn't.
it. But she said it was amazing.
Yeah.
So, and that was like a huge deal, because she's a very picky eater. Very.
It wasn't bad, really.
I mean, not having any fruit. It's fine.
How much tofu did you put in? I
I was
missed how
just
much.
wondering that.
I put in, like, it was,
About approximately 3 ounces.
yeah. Yeah.
So that, how much is gone?
Oh, it was the end of the package.
Oh, okay.
This is just a new one, but it was like probably like from
Like
here.
1/3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
put a
what do
decent
you
amount.
put tofu in that you can eat? Really?
Like you can do like
Or
the,
whatever you're cooking.
yeah.
Okay.
So like you have to get like the certain, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to get the certain firmness for like depending on what you want. So like the extra firm, right, you can use for like stir fries.
Right, like I usually slice it up and saute it like I would with chicken.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes you can, that one actually gets a little crispy, so.
Yeah, coat it in a little bit of chili powder and
I
some
mean,
garlic.
if you overcook it, it does get rubbery.
Little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, anything, like there's,
Par
some,
cook it before you throw
like
it
our
down in
Eaton
the
is a
soup.
company that has like a soy-based,
Mhm.
like ground beef, has the flavor, has the.
Well, now all the burgers, all the places have their Impossible burgers, and
The
has
Beyond.
anyone tried those?
I have, it's
Is it-
excellent.
Is
yeah?
It's excellent. You
I
really
want to
can't-
try it.
And the one that I get from,
You ever had
Michael's,
Impossible
it's
Burger?
called the Beyond Burger.
Oh yeah, and it's
And that
like
one
it has
actually-
beets, so
Yeah,
it's
it
like
has
red.
beets, so it looks like you're
Really?
eating a burger.
Yeah.
But, like,
Are you vegetarian or vegan?
No, I'm probably 75% vegetarian.
Okay.
Like sometimes I crave a burger, so I
Yeah.
know that's my body telling me I need
Yeah.
the red meat, so I just go with it.
Mhm.
I feel like that's how I am.
Yeah.
Is
They
that
do. They
it?
have the sausages, like the spicy sausage.
It's
And
crazy.
all that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Have you?
it's a beet veggie burger? At what?
It's a plant-based, plant-based burger. It's vegetarian. It's called
And-
Beyond Burger, but they add beets to it. So like when you're actually grilling it, it kind of bleeds like a burger would bleed when you're cooking a burger. Like the grease from it makes it look like seem like a burger.
Hmm.
It's
That's
interesting.
cool.
But really, I mean, the sausage, like the Italian sausage, you can't tell the difference. And my kids will verify that.
I was gonna say I used
They
to.
That's the
Kid
test.
seals approval.
Yeah.
I used to nanny for a family, and they were all about that kind of stuff. And the little girl was like, "I want a hot dog," and I was like, "Your mom let you have hot dogs?" Like I did
That's
not.
right.
And then I opened it, and I was like,
Mom's
"Oh."
like.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, those are hot dogs." She's like,
Chicken
what are you
dogs.
talking about? What
I used to eat chicken dogs.
Chicken
Yeah.
dogs?
Chicken dogs. You can get hot dogs made with chicken meat.
Huh.
Chicken dogs.
I
They're really not
stay
bad.
away from
And they're
hot
made by
dogs.
Oscar Mayer.
Really?
But have you ever had a Smith hot dog?
I stay away from hot dogs in general. They're just the
Yeah, they freak me out.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I agree.
Smith
But the
is
vegetarian
like-
ones are good though.
Are they?
But
Okay.
Erie, it's like, you know, amazing.
I could get behind
I
that
have to
then,
have
yeah.
one in the summer on the
Yeah, but
campfire.
if you
I'm
look at
good
the
for you.
nutritional values
It
on
has to be
Burger
Smith.
King's, whatever the plant burger is, it's actually worse.
I want black bean
It's
soup tonight.
fattier.
Ooh, that
It's
sounds
Really?
Yeah.
Get your proteins in. Bury that protein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I don't eat.
What'd you say?
I thought that tofu
I don't
would
eat
have
fast
had more
food, period. I
protein
can't.
in
I
it.
can't.
I know.
Just
But it's like this
That's not a lot.
world.
No.
I started.
Mhm.
4 grams.
Consider a good amount of protein.
Slippery
So
slope.
they say
A
for,
serving of
I
whatever.
know.
dip them in mayonnaise.
So I need to figure out the. I'm really bad with like switching things. So it's like 5 to 7 ounces, depending on like female or male.
Okay.
And if you think about it, like a small, like they say, a fist size of like chicken is an ounce.
Crush your palm.
Okay.
Or yeah, that right
Crush
there.
your palm. 4 ounces.
4. Oh wow,
Crush your
you are,
palm.
you are amazing. Look at
No,
that.
I'm Weight Watchers.
There you go. So, but I don't know what ounces to grams are. Grams to ounces. I'm really bad. Do I have some around here? I don't understand why they put these things like that in grams, because in reality no one knows. Like when you look at the sugars, did you know this? This is my favorite thing to tell people. When you look at sugar, anytime, remember the number 4. So if something is 40 grams of sugar, divide that by 4 and that'll give you the teaspoons. So so it would be 10 teaspoons.
If it's got 40 grams of sugar, you should be.
I've read once that per serving, you should never go over 7 grams of sugar per
Yeah.
serving.
Yeah. Yeah, that is like very low. Because like a can of orange pop,
Okay, well maybe that's on Sweet Stream to say never.
yeah, because like a can of orange, because there's in 100%, this is 100% not from concentrate, there's 22 grams of sugar in this. Obviously, it's better to be chewing your fruit than drinking it, but if you're going to do anything, you want to make sure it's 100%, whatever that juice is. So, but like a can of orange pop has 13 teaspoons, just a can of pop. So, yeah, that's a whole nother crazy. And you should only be having, like, women, it's 6 teaspoons of sugar a day, and men, it's 9.
Look at her pure disgust.
Okay.
Three
Don't-
more teaspoons and
But
what do you
listen,
do?
that's also, well, no, because it's natural and yeah, added sugars too. But your sugars, you want to make sure that they all come from like natural sugars.
Like honey?
That's still, yeah. Like natural sugars would be the fruit, you know, like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they mean by natural.
yeah. Honey is considered an added sugar, but it's going to be a better option than high fructose corn syrup. So it's all about weighing out your
And
options.
if honeybees make it.
Exactly. Are you?
I'm a beekeeper.
Oh my gosh, you're the second beekeeper I met this week.
Cool.
Wow.
I learned so much from this lady. She was telling me that the queen bee lives for like 3 to 4 years.
She lays 1,000 eggs a day.
Yeah. And when their box gets too, and they don't like split the box, then that's when they swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Swarm.
Swarm, you're right.
Oh.
Queen
Well, I
takes-
read
queen
on the
takes off
internet
with
that
her
they like
form.
cannabis. So I think we all need to start growing it.
That was going to be.
I read that too on Facebook. It must be true.
That was
Gotta
going to be
be.
my husband's and I big money maker is to do a. We were going to call it
Cannabis?
High Honey.
So that is true?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
Now,
like
does the
fruit
THC go
treat-
into the honey?
We don't know. We were going to try it. We have no use for the plants other than let the bees have them. But
I'm sure I could find somebody that can use your plants.
I will sell it on the medical field.
How often do you get stung?
I-
I'm just curious, because it hurts.
You try not to,
Right.
but average about twice a year.
Oh, that's
Oh.
not. bad.
But I have scars
Uh-huh.
because my bees, I have a colony of bees that are quite aggressive. And the last time I got stung, they nailed me through my glove, through my protective equipment.
Let's see.
Yeah. So I got nailed through canvas and leather, and they left a scar here, and I think on the back of my arm. And all I did is I lifted the lid enough to look in, and I was black, just complete black. And I went, oh, put the lid down, and it was too late. They were attempting, and I did the worst thing a beekeeper could ever do is I swiped.
Ooh, uh-huh.
And of course that just spread the pheromones. And they were in attack mode. And it's, I don't know, 150, 200 yards to my house. And I'm stripping, trying to get away from the pheromones that I knew I'd had all the way up the hill. I'm stripping. I left pieces of my gear
That's my personal.
everywhere. And I'm in the house thinking I've been stung hundreds of times because of the pain. And, you know, I'm screaming at my husband, help me, help me. You know, got in the house, and by then I was down to my jeans and my boots and my shirt. My suit was off, my gloves, my gear, everything was gone. And he's like, what? He couldn't see anything wrong. And here I thought, you know, my arm was this big around because of the pain. But no, it was just, you have to be very careful. But once or twice a year, you're going to get nailed. I don't care who you are, how long you've been beekeeping, you're going to get nailed.
Yeah, we had just one scary experience where Randy was just like booking it to the truck.
Mm-hmm.